to the Linux for Hackers course by WSuite Industries. Today is the last video we are doing on the course, which we are covering hacking in action. We're going to perform Linux enumeration and recon on a target. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to launch our terminal. Then we have to find who we are attacking, basically. Now what I want you guys to do is, let me increase my terminal. What I want you guys to do is, I want you to type this command, IPA. When you type IPA, it's going to give you a basic configuration of your adapters. Now, I'm connected to this adapter, the Ethernet adapter. That's a wired connection, which is my WSL virtual network. Then our target, our IP address is this. So right now, what we are trying to do is get the IP address to the router. That is the device I'm connected to, which connects me to the internet. That is what we are hacking. So first of all, to get that device, we want to type route. When you type route, you're going to be given this input output right here. Then you're going to see something like this, gateway. Copy this gateway word, then type ping, and input the name of the gateway that we copied right now. So it was gateway. When I type this and I ping it, it's actually going to give me the IP address of the gateway. This is the gateway's IP address. Now this is who we are. This is the target you are now going to hack into. I want to gather information about this target on our network. So we're going to copy this, clear our screen, cd to our desktop, create a directory, and name it Recon. Now when we enter into the Recon directory, we clear the screen again. Now we'll try and ping the IP address again to just be sure we are getting replies. So the first thing we are going to do is we want to know who that IP address is for and what that IP address does. That's the questions we are going to be asking ourselves. So the first thing I'm going to type is dig. Now basically the dig is used to get basic information about the target. It's literally going to dig out information about the target, DNS information and stuff. So when you click on this, it's going to give us this output right here, global option. So basically it's showing us that this is not a public IP address. It's what? A private IP address. So this private IP address is only to our network. It's not for the outside internet, right? But for instance, let's say we had pinged example.com. Example.com. You see that we are getting an IP address, and this is a public IP address right here. So what we are going to do is we're going to try and perform recon on example.com. So the first command we are going to type is whois.example.com, or the IP address for example.com. So after typing this, basically, we are going to get basic information about example.com. We will be given this output right here. The ARIN Whois data services are subject to terms of use available. So basically, if you read this, you're going to get the network range for example.com, the CIDR. This is very important information when you have to even perform scans. This tells us that this is the subnet that they are using, and a whole lot of information. The organization name, organization ID, and the address on which the organization is located, 145 Broadway. This is just basic information, public information available. Organization tech email, this is the email to the admin, basically. And the phone number and a whole lot of stuff that you can use in further information gathering. So this is what Whois can do. So the next thing we are going to learn is dig. Now we type dig and input the IP address of the target. And it's also going to give us basic information about the target right here. Now, it's going to give us the server, when it was registered, a message size, and a whole lot of DNS information. Now, one of my favorite ones I always like using is curl. Now, curl is a command line utility that is used to load something like a web page. It acts like a browser on the terminal. So when I type curl tag I, or if I just type curl and I input the IP address of the target, it's going to try and load the IP address of the target. And it's going to load an HTML page right here. Basically, if I put this IP address in the browser, it's going to load this HTML page right here. But if I want to know about the server, what server is it running, I'll use the curl tag I, which is going to return the headers, HTTP headers. It's going to tell us what type of server they are using. They are using a certain server called Ghost, the MIME type, the content type, and a whole lot of information. Now, this is publicly available information that you can get from you are just intercepting HTTP requests. Now, another recon tool that you can learn is the Nmap command. Now in the nmap command, in the nmap utility, to install it, you type sudo apt install nmap. When I type this, I input my password, then it installs nmap on my system. So yes, we want to install nmap. So basically it's going to update nmap if nmap has not been updated lately. So you can see that nmap has been installed. So I'm going to clear my screen. So we're going to try and hack into the device or gather information about the device using nmap. So we type sudo nmap tag help. This is going to give us the help on nmap. That's the basic help information about nmap. So these are the switches that you can use on nmap. So if you read through them, you understand them clearly. So what you're going to do is that we're going to type sudo nmap, input the IP address of the target, then use the /S_V representing service version. So what service versions are run on the device? Are there old versions of devices? Then we're going to use the S_N. This is going to say we shouldn't ping the device, and a whole lot of switches are there. For instance, the -P-, which is to scan all the ports on this IP address. Now we are not being authorized to perform the scan, so legally we cannot perform it, but we still have the IP address to our own gateway. So I'm going to scan my gateway itself. So my gateway right here, this is the IP address to my gateway. So I could just type clear sudo nmap, then done. So it's going to perform a scan on nmap. So all we have to do now is wait for the scan to complete. So luckily for us, the scan has completed, and then we can see that MSRPC is open. Then we have NetBIOS, basically saying that this is a VM machine, and it also could be having a Microsoft service connected to it. So that is a Windows machine, and basically yes, my Windows is a Windows machine. So this is the scan output. So you can leverage Nmap. I have a video on Nmap down there, so you can simply learn it. Thank you for watching this playlist. Please like, share, and comment. We'll be doing an ethical hacking full course next. Thank you.